What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in and talk about Anthem. So it's been a little while, but I do have some new stuff to round up in this video. We're going to speak about the open demo for Anthem. Not too long now until we can actually jump in and try the game out. So I'll speak about the dates for that, some of the content we can expect to see. We're also going to talk a little bit about some new gameplay, and specifically we have new info on loot systems, RNG, activity rewards, medals, and a bunch of endgame systems and content that we can expect to see when Anthem launches. So guys, as always, I hope you do enjoy this video, but now let's get into it. Before we talk about some new gameplay stuff, info about loot and progression, it's worth mentioning some stuff about the demo for the game, and there will be an open demo where everyone can jump in and try Anthem out. So firstly, for that open demo on February 1st up until February 3rd, there will be a public open demo. You don't require to pre-order the game or anything like that. And of course, there are a lot of people who would be interested to jump in and actually try Anthem out for themselves. As far as we know, this will be available across all platforms, so do bear that in mind. February 1st will be an opportunity to jump in and try the game. However, there will be a VIP demo for the game as well, and this is for anyone who has a pre-order for the Standard or Legion of Dawn edition of the game, and this will launch on January 25th, running up to January 27th. Should also mention that EA and Origin Access, the kind of early access services, do allow you to start playing on February 15th, ahead of the launch on February 22nd. A little bit more information about how this demo is going to work though. No progress is going to carry into the release version of the game. Of course, we see that with a lot of betas and demos. But Michael Campbell from BioWare said a good cross-section of different content will be available. Missions, a Stronghold, some Tarsis, and some free play. The Stronghold that'll actually be available during the demo will be the one that we saw from the E3 gameplay this year. So what you're seeing right now will give you an idea of some of the stuff we'll be able to jump into. So I know there are some mixed opinions about Anthem. Guys, I'd be curious to know if you're going to jump in and try the open demo for Anthem. That of course is if you haven't pre-ordered the game already. Now though, let's speak about loot, some progression stuff, information about RNG, some activity rewards, as well as gear rarities. So we'll start out with that. There will be, of course, different rarities for loot in the game. And it's a pretty typical setup. So the first quality is common or white gear. And then you get the uncommon green gear, rare blue gear, epics, which are actually purple, Masterworks, which are orange, and then the highest level available will be the legendary gear, which is marked yellow. And this is across all different types of equipable gear. And the interesting thing is that we will be able to collect these loot rarities at whatever current level we are. So any rarity can drop pretty much at any time from what we know, but it will be affected by the level of the content you're playing. So you can select different difficulties for pretty much any content in the game, including the open world exploration, missions, but especially more of the endgame content built around strongholds and contracts. There are 3 base difficulty tiers to begin with, but then these expand into the endgame to Grandmaster tiers 1, 2, and 3. So anytime you increase the difficulty, you improve the potential to get higher rarity items, but this is also affected by your base level as we mentioned, so unlike Destiny or something like that, your overall power level will affect how regularly you get the best drops in the game. However, the highest Grandmaster difficulties will require you to reach a certain gear score threshold, which we'll cover in just a moment. But when it comes to customization for gear, components will be a key part of customization for pretty much all of the gear, allowing you to apply specific effects, cooldown improvements, and stat bonuses designed for different javelins and rarity of gear. Components will also carry power levels, so this is going to be part of the overall leveling system. But the cool thing about this is that the cosmetic elements of gear are going to be separate to the gameplay influencing upgrades, which give you more full control of how you ultimately modify gear. So basically you can control cosmetics completely separately to all of your gameplay customization, so essentially we shouldn't run into that RNG problem of having great gear bonuses and terrible cosmetics. We did get a bit of an insight into some of the RNG elements in Anthem, but it is quite different to something like Destiny, of course, where there is a lot of RNG. You can get almost any perk in any slot on a piece of gear, as well as any number of stat upgrades, and the pool is relatively big, so it does make it difficult or very random when it comes to those perfect rolls. However, in Anthem, the bulk of loot RNG, in terms of attributes, will be more for stat bonuses, or inscriptions as they're called in Anthem. So different rarities of gear will get a different number of bonus stats. Legendary or Masterwork gear can get 4 inscriptions, epic gets 3, rare will get 2, and then uncommon will get 1. The base common gear in the game won't actually get an additional stat bonus. A lot of the bonuses you can see on the bottom of these pieces of gear actually display 0. I believe there was a bug in some of these builds. But the quality of these stat bonuses will change depending on the rarity of gear, but again, these are purely stat based, offering things like increased javelin blast damage, thruster life, recharge cooldowns, and even slight ammo boosts. And for weapons, these stats will be separate to intrinsic perks which never change, so every weapon kind of behaves a little bit more like an exotic in terms of attribute locking. You may be wondering how we'll actually go for the best rolls or stats on pieces of gear. We should mention firstly that in Anthem there won't be any re-rolling on gear, but if you obtain a blueprint then you will be able to craft that piece of gear over and over, essentially until you get the stats that you're looking for. This will require quite a few materials, but of course this is a component of the endgame, so overall when you're looking for perfect rolls, you'll pretty much rely on RNG drops, or once you have a blueprint, you can repeatedly craft until you get what you want. This is definitely positive, and I believe the devs said there would be around about 100 legendaries at launch, and at least 20 or 30 different component types. There will still be some RNG to blueprint drops themselves from what we can tell, but we don't know everything about that just yet. In terms of loot tables though, different pieces of gear and their exclusivity, it will be a pretty open system in Anthem that allows a series of different loot tables to drop at different difficulties. So currently there won't be specific weapons or loot that you'll need to farm in a specific activity. It's possible that certain loot tables could drop more often in a certain location or at a certain difficulty, but from what we can tell, most things have the capacity to drop anywhere. Like we said though, the difficulty tiers that you're playing at are going to play a pretty big part in ultimately getting the best stuff. So as we play into the endgame of Anthem, we'll need to be increasing our power and unlocking abilities to improve gear score so that we can tackle various Grandmaster levels of content. Once again, the higher tier that you're actually entering activities at and completing them at, the better the loot is going to be. And in terms of the gear score that we just mentioned, this is basically a way of managing your player's basic power, and it's both going to help indicate whether your pilot is ready for a certain type of content, or in certain instances, whether you can access that content whatsoever. And those Grandmaster tiers are going to be an example of that. And as we mentioned before, with the various upgrades, components, and attachments, are actually going to carry a gear score, and currently the core stats for those are as follows. So common items come with 18 gear score, uncommon are 22, rare are 32, epic are 36, Masterworks are 40, and these will contribute to that overall gear score, which you can see next to the character. It also gives you an overall rarity based on the culmination of what you have equipped. So that gives us a decent idea of some of the basic kind of upgrades and customization in Anthem. Definitely feels like there are a few things we haven't seen yet in terms of the endgame and progression, but these are just really the basics of these systems. Another element of progression in Anthem is going to include medals. These can grant additional XP for completing certain objectives or challenges. There's a pretty cool team element to this because when you squad up in the game, medal XP will actually be shared for everybody. So you can be in a group running different pilots and completing different challenges as individuals, but then all of those points are actually shared to the team, which is pretty cool. Anthem developers also confirmed that there will be 100% dedicated servers, and this is to improve the experience in general, but of course to manage weather, environmental effects, enemy positions, and to ensure that team combos and coordination is always rewarding. It's probably also linked to the Frostbite tech as well, but it is nice to see a game even without being PvP focused, which is actually getting some truly dedicated servers. So there we go guys, that is some of the newer information that we've had about Anthem. Of course you've mostly seen Stronghold gameplay in the background right here. I'll run some clips from BioWare's recent stream at the end of this video if you want to check them out, but I'll also link the full stream down below if you want to get a more in-depth look at Strongholds in Anthem. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, a rating is super appreciated down below. Let me know your thoughts about Anthem, whether you're going to jump in for that open demo, and I'd also be curious to hear your thoughts about the progression systems that have been revealed so far. Definitely appears to be some pretty neat customization in there. There's quite a bit of stuff, hopefully, that we're still yet to learn about Anthem. If you do want to keep up to date with Anthem content, all the major news though, I'll be covering everything here on the channel as we get closer to the release of the game, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. For now though guys, I appreciate you tuning in, and whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.
So I'm in the storm, because it is my favorite. And I'm all loaded out to be a primer. I've got ice attacks on both of my gear slots, so I will be trying to set you guys up for some awesome combos.
I am the Javelin. My primary the Javelin. I'm the Interceptor. My primary attack is glow sticks. Through well-placed glow sticks, I can coordinate the team. Actually, what I have is, I don't know what they're called. They're these amazing Ninja Star glaive things. Ben, what's the name for them?
Yep, that's good enough.
Glaives.
Yeah, good enough. Good enough. I got a poison grenade.
Yep.
And then I also have a move which will target any certain enemy and will allow higher damage on that. I'll show you guys later.
And so I'm playing the Colossus. My job is to do some protection today, so I'm playing a little close quarter. I've got a shock coil that you will see that lets me get up close and personal and electrocute people. And then I have a heavy munitions fire on my right arm, which can knock things out of the sky. So probably like our gameplay, team play strategy is John's gonna set up status effects for us. Mike's gonna try to get combos with his melee, and I'm gonna do protection. I also have the taunt that will increase damage enemies take and make them all shoot at me.
This Stronghold is on normal difficulty.
Yeah.
And we are level 20?
20,
Yeah, level 20.
Yep.
Okay.
So
basically,
we freeze this other turret. Oh shit.
Okay, you're gonna get this scout in the back.
Got him.
Okay, I'm gonna push forward to top left
Okay, I'm
and
with
get
you.
the second turret.
So in the actual launch game,
Actually, let's go to the right side. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
okay.
no,
Okay, the
go
one that's
ahead.
frozen now, I'm going over.
okay, flying over there quick. In the launch game, this would be about 3/4 through the crit path in terms of our level. 'cause
Okay,
we're
I'm
trying to
tanking
go
it. Please shooteth.
Yeah, I'm mailing it.
Well, I think I'm speaking in old English terms. I don't know. Okay, nice.
Shoot it?
Okay, shooteth
Shooteth.
by turret.
Someone shooteth
Okay, I'm
by
going
turret.
over.
Oh,
John's going to
I got it
freeze it like
frozen.
a boss. I'm going to shoot it behind. Massive. Okay, good.
See
Oh,
that?
nice. Look at you.
Yeah, it's almost
John
like.
Warner.
Woo! Woo!
Nice.
Wow.
All right.
All right,
You know the
fine.
flare does no damage, right?
I'm signaling instructions to you. Oh, okay, thanks.
So I just got
Thanks,
a.
Magic
I
Mike.
just got a detonator trial complete. So in the game we have a number of trials, obviously,
Oh, wait,
based
wait,
on
wait.
gameplay.
Nice. I'm going to get
But-
close and then
Something
shield.
just took me down.
Okay, I'm just going to repair you straight away.
Do my.
Oh,
my-
snipers, because we got snipers up there.
I think turret's still first though, right? Like,
Yeah, I think.
Oh God.
got shot coiling, got combo on the turret.
You got the
Oh,
turret?
nice.
You got the
It
turret?
was a
Okay, I'll
huge
take the
split.
ads on.
So my combo's pulse and
yeah,
AoE, which is like super helpful.
We've got snipers
I'm gonna go up
behind
to that
us.
sniper.
It's okay.
Straight in front.
I think the snipers are all good now.
Check this out. Check this out.
All right. What did you do?
Very good. Very good.
Whew, I can't see.
But guys, there you go.
Yes.
I might actually be shooting.
I kind of wish that I had my my ultimate.
Oh, I've got my ultimate.
So just fire. It's just fury.
Here we go.
There we go.
Combo
How about a little
town.
bit of that?
I'll throw in my ninja stars. All right.
That was worth it.
Yeah, that was all right. We
satisfying.
did it.
Very satisfying.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, lots more of that fun to do.
Cool.
There's an amazing boss at the end of this, and you're gonna want to play it for yourself.